Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fab Grid Talk Show, episode 5. And we have with us Peter D. Run today. I'll just introduce him to you in a short while. First of all, for those of you who do not know, Fab Grid is a collaboration between Fablux, which is a digital magazine based in Malaysia, and Grid, which is a learning and development platform connecting coaches, mentors, and trainers to individuals and organizations. So with the Fab Grid talk show series, what we're doing is we bring on these wonderful coaches like Peter and ask them, request them to share things that they really feel strongly about and they feel that can add value to everyone's life, really. So, Peter, please introduce yourself and the topic that we'll be covering today. I'm all excited about it.
All right. Hi, everybody. And good to see all of you. I'm sure some of you are staring at our faces at the moment. Okay. My name is Peter, as mentioned, and I'm a life coach. And what I do is I just chat with people. And as they talk, I help them unravel all the thoughts in their minds so that they can finally focus and find a way to fulfill the dreams in their hearts. Okay, now what am I going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? I'm going to talk about how to manage our emotions for success in life, because so many people seem to have their life in a mess because they have failed to manage their emotions.
True, Peter, when you say managing your emotions, the first thought that comes to my mind is, when you're working and, a boss or a colleague manages to really aggrieve you and, you get really angry at what they've said. And you feel that, they're being unfair to some extent. But if you react and, you show your emotions, it might escalate into something much more bigger. So how do you suggest that we should react in such instances where, we're overcome with anger and we're on the right, really?
Your question has so many points I want to touch on. And thank you for highlighting an example, which is my favorite example, which is anger. When I coach people and when I do training as well, one of my favorite subjects is emotion management. And I use anger as an example because it was my problem. It was because of my inability to manage my anger that led me to find solutions. And then from there to realize like, hey, I found something that worked for me. Now I can share with other people and to help them. Now, thank you for using the word and reflecting it back to me. You used the word react and respond. There's a very key things there. And if you didn't pick it up yet, and if the listeners have not picked it up yet, I purposely used the word manage. Because many ask me, how can I control my anger? There's a big difference between managing your anger and controlling your anger. Yeah. Now, controlling your anger, I love it. I don't know who I heard it. I use it a lot as an example. Controlling your anger is, imagine your anger is like a ball and you are in a swimming pool. And so you push the ball down into the water. You want to try to hide the ball. Do you know how much effort you have to do when you're doing that? Do you know how yucky it feels to be you're in a beautiful swimming pool, but all your strength and attention is pushing that ball down? How long? I don't know. But what I do know is sooner or later, that ball is not only going to come up, but it is going to... And that's what many people do with their anger. Push it down. Control my anger. until one day it.
And then there's
You
this
see?
issue of displaced anger. Then where, we might be angry at A, but we're taking it out on B, who was just sitting calmly and having the cup of tea, probably. So,
You are so true, and that's a bad way of managing anger. And it reminds me of this picture when I first started learning about anger. You know, your boss scolds you, so you come back, you're so angry, you shout at the wife. The wife is so angry, she shouts at the kid. The kid is so angry, kicks the dog. Dog is so angry, the dog bites the cat. The cat gets so angry, it chases the rat. The rat is so angry, it bites the electric
it's a
wire,
vicious
and the whole
cycle.
house is dark. You see, so that is just misplaced, and we just spreading badly managed anger. Okay, so you asked me how. We'll take a 2-day seminar, but I'll shrink it in. First step, you need to be aware you are angry. Have you heard people? They say,
Absolutely.
I think you are angry. They say, no, I'm not angry. Who said I'm angry? I think the whole world thinks you're angry.
Yes, Peter, when you just said that you started working, finding solutions to anger,
Yes.
when you realized that you were the one
Yeah.
who was having problems. So what struck me most at that time was that you had to be self-aware to know that, it was creating problems with yourself and people around.
Yes. And it's very hard. And I may be politically wrong here, but I do find it's harder for men.
Yeah.
Harder for men to actually say, I have an anger management problem. Because I do not know why some crazy person decided that certain angers are feminine and certain angers are masculine. So angry is a man's emotion. Sad and crying, girls' emotion. But I've never seen a gender given to emotion. And emotion is not a gender issue, is it? So I find me being a man especially was very difficult to start with point one, to be self-aware and to courageously admit to myself, I have a problem with anger. And if I don't do anything about it, I and everybody around me is going to be in big trouble. So that's the first step. And I still find some people don't even realize they're angry, and they won't say they're angry. And this one, this is a big tip I always give. Don't say I am angry. Don't say I am angry. Why? I am refers to your identity. So when you say I am angry, you're making anger part of who you are, your identity. The very fact is you're just feeling angry. Anger is just a part of you. So try this. Just say, I am feeling angry. See the difference between I am angry and I am feeling angry.
Yes, that's beautiful. So we make anger us, as in, that we are angry, like we are this. It's like a defining statement. Whereas it should be a part.
Yeah. The moment you say I am feeling angry, I automatically imagine, okay, this is feeling. And the anger is here. And it's only one part of me. The rest of me is okay. But when I say I am angry, from top to bottom is complete anger. And that's harder to manage. Much harder to manage. So start with that. Be aware and say to yourself, I am feeling angry. As a married man, I'll tell my wife, I am at the moment feeling angry. See, so she knows, okay, you're feeling it. When you dealt with your feeling, you can come back, talk to me. Thank you. Then I move away and deal with it. You see? Yeah. So that's the first step. See, there's a 5-step thing that I teach. So the second step is the basic belief that every emotion is given birth, is triggered. You don't just feel. No, I can't like, okay, right now, come on, feel happy. Okay, now feel sad. None of us can.
Yes.
But then why now I feel sad? Why now I feel fear? Because something gives birth to it. The psychological term is trigger.
Trigger.
Yeah. So big question, and I took a long time to do this. Is investigation. What is triggering my anger? And a simple exercise could be, if you can catch yourself the moment you say, oh, I'm feeling angry now. Okay, stop, catch yourself and ask, 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, 1 minute ago, what was happening? What was I thinking? What did I hear? What did I see? And if you catch yourself like this after a few times, you begin to see that, oh, often just as I begin to feel angry, this I was thinking, or this was said. Then you begin to discover your triggers. For some, yeah, pretty fast. Like me, it took some time to find out my triggers. And that's where I think coaching comes in beautifully. No, someone tells a story. And you say, okay, and then you just by asking 2 or 3 powerful questions, you can see the, oh, so that's why I'm getting angry. You see? For me, there were 2 triggers. One very deep trigger, which is I learned to be angry as my way to deal with problems. And I learned it from my father, unknowingly, because my father was a very, very angry man. And so, as a 1-year-old or 2-year-old, I would see certain situations and I would see that my father got angry. And so, after a while, the conclusion in the kid's brain would be, in situations like this, you be angry.
Yes.
You know, and I never questioned it. Till as an adult, then I said, oh my God, I am like my father.
I have a question here,
Yes,
Peter.
yes.
Like
yes.
in instances, like our parents, they probably were being angry at somebody else, whereas angry probably at a spouse when they were angry due to situations at the workplace.
Yes,
So
yes.
when there is displaced anger, or when the anger doesn't seem to be making sense at that point in time, so when a child sees that kind of displaced anger, how would they want to imitate that, or
Oh,
because that's difficult
yeah.
to understand.
Yeah, no, they don't want to imitate. That's the thing. It's not a willful choice. Oh, I will do like that. But you see, many things that a child learns is by observation.
True.
Mommy didn't say, okay, when you eat, you put in your mouth and you chew. No, just because I saw mommy putting in the mouth and chewing, I realized I chew as well. And at the kid's age, whatever mommy and daddy do is 100% correct. There is no ability to ask, is this right? Is this good? Should I copy this? No. And if a child has been exposed to anger, say from 1-year-old to 5 years old, as a normal manifestation of an adult, that's what they will conclude subconsciously. And then they go to school. and they get angry and they punch kids and all that. And then when they get big, they punch their wife. And then they ask, oh, why am I doing this? And many times when I find out, yeah, because you are naturally, you're just mimicking what was inputted in your mind all those childhood years.
So the notion that some people are born more angry or born, calmer, that's not true.
I won't say not true. Everybody, I believe, is born with emotions. If you're born with no emotions, I'm so sad for you. But how the emotion is manifested, how the emotion is managed. We teach our children so many things, but I rarely hear parents actively, purposely teaching children how to manage emotions. How many parents actually sit down and teach their children how to manage emotions? I give my example. My own child, she will cry, and many children cry for all kinds of reasons. Yeah, I teach her. Tell her, okay, why are you crying? Crying is usually used to express sadness or pain. Are you in pain? Are you sad? No. Then why are you crying? You have chosen a wrong form to manifest. Oh, but if you're sad, please cry. If you are in pain, please cry. And so I teach my daughter, this emotion is to express this. This is emotion is for this. Use it properly. Then daddy also can understand. Yeah. But most parents don't. Worst thing they do is they shut down the children's emotion.
True.
And then they add gender to it. Boys don't cry.
Yes.
Two terrible things. Gender association and cutting down of emotions. You see? Whereas, even like this, I could ask the child first, what are you feeling? Sometimes the child doesn't know. So you help the child to identify self-awareness. Number two, why are you crying? Why are you angry? Yeah, we work it. But a parent can't do this if the parent themselves have not worked out their own emotions.
How unfair is this? Saying to when you associate gender to an emotion, because all emotions are meant to be felt by every person.
And they're all human emotions.
Yes, and when you're asking a specific gender not to feel one emotion more,
yes,
you're actually depriving them of their actual, a natural process. And that's that must be affecting them so deeply and coming out in different forms.
True. Now you have worked, I'm assuming now, I may be putting words in your mouth, but you have worked with many women who rightfully should be angry.
Absolutely.
For whatever has happened to them, but they're not.
No,
because they're told women,
they're very depressed, but
if
they're
you're
not angry.
If you're angry, you're not woman-like. And I work with men. How many men are afraid to cry? Yet they need to cry. Their father died, they didn't cry. Their pet animal died, they didn't cry. They are hurting, they won't cry. I said, just a tear will be good. You see? So yes, emotions are for all humans and all emotions for all humans. There is no segregation. Okay, this is for men, this is for women. Please don't do that. Okay, so I don't know about time, but let's see. Be aware of your emotions, identify your triggers, then third, identify what you can do the next time. The next time the emotion comes up, because it will come up over and over again. Remember, we are not talking about suppressing or destroying. And some people will ask me, how can I get rid of my anger? I said, oh no, please, don't get rid of your emotions. You need them.
Feel them.
Yeah, you need to feel them. You need to be aware of them. But how? We never learn. We never even sat down. I didn't never even sat down and said, okay, the next time I feel angry, what should I do? Where I live in my parts of the world, we have a saying, prepare the umbrella before rain. You know it will rain. You know you'll get angry. And you know before this, you made a mess when you got angry. So now you are aware you're angry, you're aware what's triggering it. Next question is, so what do I do? A little bit from my story. I'm very embarrassed to say this, but it's true. The reason is for my anger problem is because I got married. And in my anger, I nearly more really hurt and destroyed my wife. And that's what motivated me to say, no, I cannot. I'm not going to be this kind of husband. I'm going to be a good husband. So I changed. And so I had to decide, the next time I feel angry and I'm with my wife, what am I going to do? So I'm thinking, and I got some very simple answers. Number one, get out of the house. Remove myself physically so that there's no way I could hurt my wife. I was thinking, yeah, I could do that. In my anger, I can just walk out. I'm not disabled when I'm angry. Yeah. Number two, breathe and relax. 1 hour later, maybe go back home. Okay. So it's simple things like that. I prepared. So the moment I got angry, it was like, all right, step one, walk out of the house. Step two, go in the car. Step three, wait for 1 hour. Hey, such a big difference just by preparing beforehand what I will do.
I like this step 1, step 2, and step 3 because even if you say you're angry at somebody and you're bursting with anger, you want to respond, you want to lash back, but what you do is you walk away. Even when you walked away, you're still angry, the emotion is still there. So what next? What do you do? Go and break something or something like that? So, I like the process that they should be 2 and 3.
Yeah. What they do, not all, a lot of it depends on your trigger. Now, in my case, I find, not my helping people, I find the commonest trigger is wrong thinking. It's just wrong thinking. It sounds so stupid now when I talk about it, but at that time, one reason why I got very angry with my wife often, I wanted her to answer immediately after I asked her a question. That's all. And because she didn't answer immediately, I got angry with her. Then I asked myself, hello, excuse me, Peter, must she answer you immediately? Can she answer you tomorrow? And I'm thinking, yeah, can. So I then told myself, okay, Peter, from now on, whenever you ask your wife something, if she chooses not to answer or to answer much later, it's permissible. I just said that to myself. Hey, and guess what? The next time I ask a question, she didn't answer. I didn't get angry. Why? I changed my thinking. But I knew I had to change my thinking because I realized that was my trigger. So it always goes back to what was your trigger? I have a safe bet. 90% of the time it's wrong thinking.
Absolutely.
Wrong thinking. And if we're talking about anger, another common reason I find everywhere is unmet expectation. You order something. I don't know your part, sorry, my ignorance, whether there's this thing called Grab or something like that. You order something so they will come and send this thing to you. And in your phone it says, package will arrive in 1 hour. Okay. 2 hours later, package has not arrived. 3 hours later, then the package arrived. Do you say thank you to the guy who's sending the package? No. Many people will shout and scream. They are feeling angry. Why? A simple unmet expectation. Expecting 1 hour came 3 hours. I question to them, must you insist that this expectation be met? Or can you just say, at least the package came? And drop the demand that because you said 1 hour, it must be 1 hour. Because when you do that kind of thinking, you'll be an angry person throughout life, because I can predict almost all your life expectations will not work out as expected.
Of course, of course.
See? So change your way of thinking and you find anger is no longer even present.
Thank you so much, Peter, for the vulnerable sharing as well. Really appreciate that and value that. And for adding so much insight that, we should identify our triggers and we should separate the feeling from us. It's part of us. It's not us as a whole. So like a giant, and then, understanding, I'm managing, not trying to control and suppress our emotions, because then they will be displaced and anger, and we will burst out at some point or the other. So those are really helpful tips. Thank you so much. I understand this is a vast topic and you do conduct workshops
yes
for this,
because I just want to help people. If I could be helped, anybody else in my shoes, come on, let's work on it.
Yes. Absolutely. So thank you for today. Have a nice weekend, and thank you for those who have been watching. If you have any questions, I'm not referring to them right now. We'll get back to you in the comments. Please leave any message. You can always message Peter. He's on LinkedIn. And in our grid community as well. So here's to a good end to the week for everybody, and goodbye till next time.